Okay, so today we're looking at tie-ups and setup for the double leg takedown lifting double. And then once we take him down, we're looking at finishing from side control. So we'll get to that in a moment. So first I tie up with Zach here, and I've got the collar tie and I've got the bicep tie. So this is inside control. Elbows are narrow so he can't get any underhooks on me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this position to sort of draw him out and pull his head, and then I change direction to get my underhook. So I pulled his head to his left so that this shoulder would come up, and that gives me an angle where I can string that underhook through. To keep this high and to keep his weight off this leg, I'll put my head in here against his neck, and that forces his head out of position. He wants to keep his head centered so that he can keep his weight centered as well. But my head is forcing his head that way, and now I lock it in so he can't get my head out of it. My head, like I said, functions as sort of a wedge. He'll square his feet up though because he senses that that right leg is vulnerable. So go ahead and square up. Now I've got to use this underhook to draw his right leg toward me. What I'm going to do though is as I step, as he's in mid-step like that, I'm going to raise this up and do a duck under to a double. So from here, I can penetrate down my knee, or in many cases you can just penetrate on your feet. You don't always have to change level. But at this point, I'm securing this leg, I'm going to go around his hip. So I've got this proximity, and that's what I need to lift. All right, when his hips are getting away from you, you got to stand up and run him down and maybe do a flare or something else. But since I got this proximity, I can feel that I'm locking him to me. Now I can stand up, set my feet, look to the sky, and I can hit forward and lift him. All right, then I bring him over to side control. And here is where we're looking for the Americana initially, but what I'd like to do also is show that the setup for the Americana and his reaction to it is really the lead-in to my actual finish. I'm going to get him to react, and then I'm going to go for the other arm. Also, that good strategy is kind of ruthless in a way. You're looking at threatening something, and then something else tries to save it, and that's what you end up getting. Okay, it's just the way to look at his reaction or his options, how he exercises his options from here. So what happens is his arms are in. I just took him down, and I'll turn a little bit so that I can get a good angle on his wrist and keep my elbow close. If he's really bracing his arm really well, then I'll turn and I'll go both arms and I'll just kind of shake, 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 shake to get that wrist to the floor. He can't really resist that. Once it's there, I'll pin it. My elbow comes in to his neck, and I'll come under and grab my own wrist. My thumbs are out. So this is all very academic, very basic. Just to drag his hand down this way as I flex his elbow up the opposite direction, and he taps. However, as I'm doing this, what some people will do is he turns to his right and he reaches for that hand because he wants to grab it and bring it over his head like this and then bring it all down in. So he wants to save that arm, he's doing this. So he'd like to bring his hand to 12 o'clock. If he can't get this hand over his head, then he can turn his head that way. That also can help. So from here, if he can't grab it, he'll turn his head that way and grab it, and then once his hands are joined, he brings it in like that. That's what he wants to do. So then what I do is I anticipate that. I'm looking at what he's doing and saying, well, as I go for the Americana, he reaches across with that arm. That's my target. Because he's turning. Once that shoulder comes up, you know you can get a cross arm lock on that arm. So I'm going for this arm. He can't get it over his head, but he turns and reaches for it. And here's what I do. I let go of this and I come around his arm. Okay? And now from here, I'm going to post my arm and pop up to my knee and step over and sit down. Sit back with the cross arm lock. All right, so get a few scoot this way a little bit. Attacking this arm, the other arm goes to save it. It's a recurring theme in jiu-jitsu. You'll see it also from the guard, where if you attack one arm, often he'll give you the other arm, or at least an opportunity to attack the other arm. Whether it's to save it or because pulling one arm back brings the other arm forward. There are a lot of reasons why the alternating sort of right to left arm, left to right strategy kind of works to finish it. So from here, got the arm, he goes to save it. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll come around it this way and I'll just wrap it. All right? And now from here I can keep him there for one thing because I wrapped his arm around his neck. He can't turn back to your right, to your left. Yeah, so I can turn him away, but I can also now step up to posted mount, lift up on this elbow, set my leg, my foot behind his shoulder, you feel him kind of breathe out because I'm putting weight on you, all right?
Yeah.
I loosen this up and I can thread this arm, lean this way toward his legs, and I can step over while keeping my hips low. This has both of my legs across. It's another variation of your cross arm lock from here, squeezing, sitting back, and you got it. Okay, so the whole thing straight through, from standing up. So here, I tie up with him, I get this underhook, I draw him out, duck under, lift him up, take him down. Go for the Americana, he goes to save it, and I can either wrap the arm or I can just thread it. Notice if he's not turned all the way, I can also drive, kind of steamroll him. I can steamroll him to here. Step up, get my arm up. Let's get that. From here, draw it out, he squares up. Look into the sky, hips underneath. Americana, he goes to save it. Here I am. Notice, lift here, set it in, step over,